Before we talk about any specific tea, I want to start with something that may surprise you. Most people never think about their kidneys until there's a problem. You can feel tired and blame your age. You can notice swelling in your feet and think it's just part of getting older. You can wake up several times during the night, struggle with your blood pressure, or find that your energy isn't what it used to be, and never once suspect that your kidneys may be under stress. The reality is that your kidneys work around the clock. Every single day, these two remarkable organs filter your blood, remove waste products, balance fluids, regulate important minerals, and help control blood pressure. They perform hundreds of vital tasks without asking for attention or recognition. The problem is that when the kidneys begin to struggle, the warning signs are often subtle. By the time many people realize something is wrong, significant damage may have already occurred. As we get older, protecting kidney health becomes more important than ever. After the age of 60, natural changes occur throughout the body. Blood vessels may become less flexible. Metabolism often slows. Many people develop conditions such as high blood pressure, insulin resistance, or type 2 diabetes. These conditions place additional strain on the kidneys day after day, year after year. One of the biggest misconceptions I hear is that kidney problems appear suddenly. They usually don't. In most cases, kidney stress develops gradually over many years. Small daily habits accumulate. The foods we eat, the beverages we drink, the amount of sugar we consume, the quality of our sleep, our physical activity levels, and our hydration habits all contribute to the overall workload placed on these organs. Think about it this way. If you had a water filter running non-stop for decades, you would expect it to require care and maintenance. Your kidneys are no different. They are biological filtration systems that operate continuously. The goal isn't to find a miracle cure or a magical detox. The goal is to create an environment where your kidneys can function efficiently and face less unnecessary stress. This is where many people become confused. They see advertisements promising instant cleanses, overnight detoxes, and dramatic results. Unfortunately, that's not how the human body works. Your kidneys are already designed to remove waste. They don't need extreme cleanses. What they need is support. They need healthy blood sugar levels. They need stable blood pressure. They need proper hydration. They need fewer inflammatory foods and fewer metabolic insults. And that's exactly why today's discussion matters. We're going to explore several teas that have been enjoyed for generations and that may support overall health in ways that indirectly benefit the kidneys. These beverages are not medications. They're not replacements for medical care, but they can become part of a daily routine that supports hydration, provides beneficial plant compounds, and encourages healthier choices throughout the day. What I find fascinating is that some of the simplest habits often create the biggest long-term impact. A person may spend years searching for a complicated solution while overlooking small, consistent actions that could make a meaningful difference. Something as simple as replacing a sugary beverage with a healthier tea can reduce excess sugar intake, improve hydration, and provide beneficial antioxidants at the same time. The kidneys thrive when the rest of the body thrives. When blood sugar improves, the kidneys benefit. When blood pressure improves, the kidneys benefit. When inflammation decreases, the kidneys benefit. That's why kidney health is never just about the kidneys, it's about supporting the entire metabolic system that surrounds them. As we move through today's conversation, I want you to keep one important thought in mind. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is progress. Small daily improvements repeated consistently over months and years can create results that no short-term detox ever could. And the first step toward protecting your kidneys is understanding that every healthy choice you make today becomes an investment in the health of your kidneys tomorrow. Now that we've talked about why kidney health deserves our attention, let's move to the first tea on our list, one that has been studied extensively and enjoyed around the world for centuries, green tea. What's remarkable about green tea is that it isn't popular because of a marketing campaign or a health trend. People have been drinking it for generations, long before anyone was discussing antioxidants or inflammation. Yet modern research has helped us understand why this simple beverage has earned such a strong reputation. One of the biggest threats to healthy aging is something called oxidative stress. Think of it as the wear and tear that occurs inside the body over time. Every day, our cells produce energy, process nutrients, and perform countless tasks. As a byproduct of these normal processes, unstable molecules known as free radicals are created. In small amounts, they're manageable, but when they accumulate, they can contribute to cellular damage throughout the body, including the kidneys. This is where green tea becomes especially interesting. Green tea contains natural compounds called catechins, which belong to a group of powerful plant antioxidants. These compounds help the body defend itself against oxidative stress. While no single food or beverage can stop aging, supporting the body's natural defense systems may help reduce some of the burden placed on organs that work nonstop, including the kidneys. But the story doesn't end there. One of the most important lessons I've learned over the years is that kidney health is deeply connected to metabolic health. Many people assume kidney disease starts in the kidneys. Often, it starts elsewhere. It starts with chronically elevated blood sugar. It starts with insulin resistance. It starts with excess body weight and metabolic dysfunction that slowly damage blood vessels throughout the body. Remember, the kidneys are filled with tiny blood vessels that act as microscopic filters. When blood sugar remains elevated for years, those delicate filters can become damaged. That's why diabetes remains one of the leading causes of kidney disease worldwide. Green tea may offer benefits here as well. Some studies suggest that regular green tea consumption can support healthy metabolism and help people make better dietary choices overall. Of course, green tea isn't a replacement for improving your diet, but it can become part of a healthier lifestyle that supports long-term metabolic wellness. Another reason I appreciate green tea is that it often replaces something much worse. Many people consume sugary beverages every day without realizing the cumulative effect. A can of soda here, a sweetened coffee there, a sugary energy drink in the afternoon, it all adds up. Over time, excess sugar contributes to weight gain, insulin resistance, and increased stress on the kidneys. Now imagine replacing just one of those beverages with a warm cup of unsweetened green tea. It sounds simple, almost too simple. Yet, these small substitutions repeated day after day can create meaningful changes over time. The healthiest habits are often the ones that seem almost insignificant in the moment. I also like green tea because it encourages mindfulness. Instead of rushing through another processed drink, you take a few minutes to prepare it, sit down, and enjoy it. That small ritual can become part of a healthier daily routine. Sometimes improving health isn't about adding more complexity. Sometimes it's about slowing down and making better choices consistently. If you're interested in trying green tea, keep it simple. Choose a quality tea, brew it properly, and avoid loading it with sugar. Many people find that 1 or 2 cups per day fit comfortably into their routine. Consistency matters far more than quantity. And I want to emphasize something important. Green tea is not a miracle cure. It won't magically reverse years of unhealthy habits. It won't instantly repair damaged kidneys. What it can do is provide beneficial plant compounds, support hydration, and become part of a lifestyle that places less stress on the body over time. That's the theme you'll notice throughout this entire discussion. We are not searching for shortcuts. We are not looking for overnight transformations. We are looking for practical habits that support the body's natural ability to function well for years to come. Green tea reminds us that some of the most powerful health tools aren't found in a prescription bottle or a trendy supplement. Sometimes they're sitting quietly in a simple cup that's been trusted for centuries. And when it comes to protecting your kidneys, small daily choices can become powerful long-term results. As we continue exploring teas that may support overall kidney health, the next one deserves special attention because it targets one of the biggest threats to healthy kidneys, high blood pressure. And that tea is hibiscus tea. Now, if you've never tried hibiscus tea before, you're in for a surprise. Unlike green tea, which has a mild and earthy flavor, hibiscus tea has a vibrant red color and a naturally tart taste that many people compare to cranberries. It's refreshing, enjoyable, and for centuries it has been consumed in various cultures around the world as part of traditional wellness practices. But what makes hibiscus tea particularly interesting isn't just its color or flavor. It's the connection between blood pressure and kidney health that makes this tea worth discussing. Many people don't realize how closely the kidneys and blood pressure are connected. In fact, they influence each other every single day. Healthy kidneys help regulate blood pressure by controlling fluid balance and various hormones. At the same time, healthy blood pressure helps protect the delicate filtering structures inside the kidneys. The problem occurs when blood pressure remains elevated for years. Imagine taking a garden hose and turning the water pressure up as high as it can go. For a short period, the hose may handle it. But if that excessive pressure continues day after day, year after year, damage becomes inevitable. The same principle applies to the tiny blood vessels inside the kidneys. These microscopic filters were designed to work efficiently, not to withstand relentless pressure. Over time, uncontrolled hypertension can damage these fragile structures, reducing their ability to filter waste effectively. This is one reason high blood pressure remains one of the leading contributors to kidney disease worldwide. What's concerning is that high blood pressure often develops silently. Many people feel perfectly normal while damage is occurring beneath the surface. They don't experience obvious symptoms until significant strain has already been placed on the heart, blood vessels, and kidneys. That's why I always encourage people to think proactively rather than reactively. Don't wait for symptoms. Don't wait until you're forced to pay attention. Protecting your kidneys begins long before any diagnosis appears. This is where hibiscus tea enters the conversation. Hibiscus contains naturally occurring plant compounds known as polyphenols and antioxidants. These compounds have attracted attention because of their potential role in supporting cardiovascular health. Some studies suggest that regular consumption of hibiscus tea may help support healthy blood pressure levels in certain individuals when combined with an overall healthy lifestyle. Notice the key phrase there, combined with an overall healthy lifestyle. No tea can compensate for a diet filled with processed foods, excessive sugar, poor sleep, chronic stress, and inactivity. That's not how health works. The greatest benefits occur when small positive habits work together. A healthier beverage choice, better nutrition, daily movement, adequate sleep, and blood sugar control all create a cumulative effect. What I appreciate about hibiscus tea is that it fits naturally into this larger strategy. It encourages hydration while providing beneficial plant compounds without adding sugar or unnecessary calories. For many people, it's a simple upgrade that replaces less healthy drink choices. I often tell patients that health isn't built through dramatic actions. It's built through repetition. It's built through the choices you make every morning, every afternoon, and every evening. The beverage sitting beside you right now may seem insignificant, but multiply that choice by hundreds or thousands of days, and the impact becomes much more meaningful. Another benefit of hibiscus tea is that many people genuinely enjoy drinking it. That's important because sustainable habits are the ones you'll actually continue. The healthiest routine in the world won't help if you abandon it after a week. Finding enjoyable, practical habits often leads to greater long-term success. Of course, moderation remains important. More is not always better. The goal isn't to drink excessive amounts of any tea. The goal is consistency and balance. If you choose to include hibiscus tea in your routine, think of it as one tool among many, a supportive habit rather than a miracle solution. As we've already discussed, kidney health is rarely about one single factor. It's about creating conditions that allow these hard-working organs to function with less stress. Supporting healthy blood pressure is one of the most powerful ways to do exactly that. And when you protect your blood vessels today, you're helping protect your kidneys for years to come. So far, we've talked about oxidative stress and blood pressure, two major factors that influence kidney health. But there's another hidden issue that often receives far less attention than it deserves, and that is chronic inflammation. When most people hear the word inflammation, they think about a swollen ankle, a sore knee, or redness after an injury. That's acute inflammation, and it's actually part of the body's natural healing process. Chronic inflammation is different. It's a low-grade, ongoing state of stress inside the body that can persist for years without obvious symptoms. The reason this matters is because chronic inflammation doesn't limit itself to one area. It can affect blood vessels, metabolic health, the cardiovascular system, and yes, the kidneys as well. Think of it like a small fire smoldering quietly in the background. You may not notice it from day to day, but over time it can contribute to significant wear and tear throughout the body. Many of the conditions that become more common with age, including obesity, insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, and cardiovascular disease, are associated with increased inflammatory activity. This brings us to the next T on our list. Ginger tea. Ginger has been used for centuries in traditional cultures around the world. Long before laboratories existed, people were already using ginger for digestive support, comfort during illness, and general wellness. Today, modern science has helped identify some of the naturally occurring compounds that make ginger so interesting. One of those compounds is gingerol, which is responsible for much of ginger's distinctive flavor and many of its beneficial properties. Researchers have spent years studying ginger because of its potential role in supporting the body's natural response to inflammation and oxidative stress. Now, I want to be clear about something. Ginger tea is not a medication. It's not a treatment for kidney disease. But when we're talking about supporting overall health, reducing unnecessary stress on the body matters. And that's where ginger tea may offer value as part of a healthy lifestyle. What makes ginger especially fascinating is that its benefits may extend beyond inflammation alone. As we've discussed earlier, kidney health and metabolic health are deeply connected. The kidneys don't operate in isolation. They respond to what's happening throughout the entire body. When blood sugar levels remain elevated for years, the kidneys often pay the price. Excess glucose can damage the delicate filtering structures that allow the kidneys to do their job effectively. That's why improving metabolic health remains one of the most important strategies for protecting kidney function over the long term. Some research suggests that ginger may support healthy glucose metabolism when combined with appropriate dietary habits. Again, this doesn't mean ginger tea is a substitute for proper nutrition, but it does reinforce a theme that keeps appearing throughout our discussion. Small supportive habits can work together to create meaningful improvements over time. Another reason many people enjoy ginger tea is its connection to digestive health. Have you ever noticed how difficult it is to feel healthy when your digestion feels off? Bloating, discomfort, sluggish digestion, and frequent stomach upset can affect energy levels and overall well-being. A healthy body functions as an integrated system. When digestion improves, people often find it easier to maintain healthier eating patterns, better hydration habits, and more consistent daily routines. Those improvements may seem indirect, but they often contribute to better long-term outcomes. I also appreciate how easy ginger tea is to prepare. You don't need expensive products or complicated supplements. A few slices of fresh ginger steeped in hot water can create a simple beverage that's both comforting and satisfying. Many people enjoy it in the morning while others prefer it after meals or during the evening. What I find particularly powerful about habits like this is their simplicity. We often assume that meaningful health improvements must be difficult, expensive, or complicated. Yet some of the most effective habits are remarkably straightforward. Drink more water. Eat fewer processed foods. Control blood sugar. Get enough sleep. Move your body regularly. Replace sugary beverages with healthier alternatives. These actions aren't flashy, but they work because they're sustainable. As you listen to this discussion, I hope you're noticing a pattern. None of these teas are being presented as miracle solutions. They are tools. They are small daily choices that can support larger goals. The real transformation occurs when these choices become part of a lifestyle that reduces stress on the body and allows important organs, including the kidneys, to function more efficiently. And that's exactly what ginger tea represents. Not a shortcut, not a cure, but a simple daily habit that may help support a healthier internal environment. Because when you consistently reduce the burdens on your body, you give your kidneys a better chance to thrive. As we've seen throughout this discussion, supporting your kidneys isn't about finding a miracle solution. It's about reducing the daily stresses that gradually wear down these remarkable organs. We've talked about antioxidants, blood pressure, inflammation, and metabolic health. Now let's turn our attention to another important factor that many people overlook: fluid balance. This is where dandelion root tea enters the conversation. Now I know what some of you may be thinking: dandelions? The same yellow plants that grow in lawns and gardens? Surprisingly, yes. For generations, dandelion has been used in traditional wellness practices across many cultures. Long before modern medicine existed, people recognized that certain plants seemed to support the body's natural processes, and dandelion became one of the most widely used herbs in traditional herbal preparations. Today, dandelion root tea remains popular among those looking for a natural, caffeine-free beverage that can fit into a healthy lifestyle. While it is often discussed in the context of detoxification, I think it's important to frame that conversation correctly. Your kidneys are already your body's detoxification system. They are filtering waste every minute of every day. The goal isn't to force them to work harder. The goal is to create conditions that allow them to work efficiently. One of those conditions is maintaining proper fluid balance. Water plays a critical role in kidney function. The kidneys rely on adequate hydration to help transport waste products through the body and maintain the balance of important minerals and electrolytes. Yet many people spend years walking around mildly dehydrated without even realizing it. Sometimes it's because they simply don't drink enough fluids. Other times it's because they replace water with sugary beverages, excessive soft drinks, or highly processed drinks that may contribute additional metabolic stress. What I often find interesting is that people tend to focus on dramatic health interventions while ignoring the basics. They'll spend hundreds of dollars on supplements but won't consistently stay hydrated. They'll search for the latest health trend while overlooking simple habits that have been helping people for decades. That's one reason herbal teas can be so valuable. They encourage fluid intake in a way that's enjoyable and sustainable. A warm cup of tea can become part of a daily ritual that naturally supports hydration throughout the day. Dandelion root tea has traditionally been associated with supporting the body's natural fluid regulation processes. While research continues to explore its various properties, many people appreciate it as a gentle herbal beverage that complements a healthy routine. What I like most about dandelion root tea is that it reinforces a larger lesson about health. The body functions best when systems work together. The kidneys, liver, blood vessels, hormones, and digestive system are all interconnected. When one system is under constant strain, the effects often ripple throughout the entire body. This is especially important as we age. After 60, many people begin taking multiple medications, managing chronic health conditions, and dealing with lifestyle habits that may have accumulated over decades. During this stage of life, small improvements often become incredibly powerful. A little more movement, a little less sugar, better sleep, better hydration, healthier beverage choices. None of these actions seem dramatic on their own, but together they can create a very different health trajectory. At the same time, I want to emphasize something that doesn't get discussed often enough. Natural doesn't automatically mean appropriate for everyone. Herbal teas can interact with certain medications or medical conditions. If someone has advanced kidney disease, is taking prescription medications, or has specific health concerns, it's always wise to discuss dietary changes with a healthcare professional. Health should never be approached with an all or nothing mindset. It should be approached thoughtfully and responsibly. That's why I encourage people to think of dandelion root tea not as a cure, but as part of a larger pattern of healthy choices. The real benefit comes from the habits that surround it. Drinking more water, choosing less sugar, paying attention to your body's needs, creating routines that support long-term wellness rather than short-term excitement. What makes these habits effective is their consistency. A single healthy choice won't change your life overnight, but repeated daily for months and years, those choices begin to compound. They begin to influence blood sugar, blood pressure, energy levels, and overall well-being. And that's ultimately what kidney health is about. It's not about extreme cleanses or quick fixes. It's about reducing unnecessary burdens and supporting the body's natural ability to maintain balance. Because when you respect the basics every day, your kidneys don't have to fight as hard tomorrow. As we come to the final part of today's discussion, I want to bring everything together. We've talked about green tea and its antioxidants. We've explored how hibiscus tea may support healthy blood pressure. We've looked at ginger tea and its connection to inflammation and metabolic health. We've discussed dandelion root tea and the importance of hydration and fluid balance. Now it's time to reveal the fifth tea on our list, and more importantly, the lesson that ties all 5 teas together. The fifth tea is nettle tea. Nettle has a long history in traditional wellness practices and has been used for generations in various cultures. While modern research continues to explore its potential benefits, nettle tea is often appreciated as a nutrient-rich herbal beverage that can fit naturally into a health-conscious lifestyle. Like the other teas we've discussed, it isn't a miracle cure and it isn't a replacement for medical care. What makes it valuable is how it complements the larger picture of healthy living. And that's really the message I hope you take away from today's conversation. Because if you've been paying close attention, you've probably noticed that this discussion was never really about tea. The teas matter, of course. They can provide hydration, they contain beneficial plant compounds, they can help replace sugary beverages, they can encourage healthier daily routines, but none of them are the main story. The main story is what happens when you consistently make better choices. One of the biggest mistakes people make when trying to improve their health is searching for a single answer. They want one food, one supplement, one medication, one exercise, or one secret trick that will solve everything. But the human body doesn't work that way. Kidney health is influenced by thousands of choices made over months, years, and decades. Every time blood sugar remains elevated, the kidneys feel the impact. Every time blood pressure stays uncontrolled, the kidneys experience additional strain. Every time processed foods dominate the diet, inflammation and metabolic dysfunction can increase. On the other hand, every healthy choice helps shift the balance in a more favorable direction. That's why I encourage people to think about building a daily routine rather than chasing quick fixes. Imagine starting your morning with a cup of green tea instead of a sugary drink. Later in the day, perhaps you enjoy hibiscus tea as part of your hydration routine. Maybe ginger tea becomes your evening beverage, replacing snacks or desserts that don't serve your long-term health goals. On certain days, dandelion root tea or nettle tea can become part of that rotation.